Gayle Saunders here with Braxton Howard at Brackshot. You can find him on Twitter. We're just going over the Eagles game. The Eagles won 34-29. Braxton, how are you feeling? Are you a little concerned about what you saw last week?
Um, a little concerned about the defense. Nick Foles played great. The offense really didn't miss a beat. Putting up 34 points. But I mean, it's understandable once you lose a guy like Carson Wentz to come out kind of slow like they did. I mean, they got down 20-7, but it was good to see them come back on the road and end up winning that game.
The Mighty E-Rock, and Trox, who were actually down at the stadium. Um, it was a little somber feeling. The Giants fans weren't like up in arms about this game too much. They showed up late. The team, we expected. We I think as a group, we thought the Giants were going to get their butts whooped in the first quarter. They had a lot of guys injured, banged up. The Eagles, they played like a team that they looked like a team that lost their quarterback. Um,
Yeah,
Half they really seemed to drag. Um, and it was more so the defense. The offense, pretty sound job, play calling wise for Nick Foles. He had 4 touchdowns on the day. Um, Not bad for a guy just with his first true week with the team. But before taping, we were just talking about the defense. Uh, Jim Schwartz's ability to counter react to some of the things that were thrown at him. Now, was that the most concerning thing that you saw yesterday?
yeah, I think so. The just the quick game, the quick slants, the quick outs. I mean, the Eagles really had no answer for them. But at the same time, and like we talked about the first time we did this with the secondary, is that they aren't as good as you would like them to be, but they make plays.
Right.
And the Giants, what yard line were they on to score and take the lead, and then and they come up with a big stop. And I think that's a testament to the Eagles. I mean, they were hit with adversity in this game, and unexpectedly, uh, it looked as if they thought that they could come in there and just roll over the Giants. And they were hit with adversity, but they responded to it well.
The one person who stood out to me for the Giants, Eli Manning had a sound game. I mean, he was setting them up with slant. Like for my seat, I'm sitting there calling out the slants. I'm like, look, they're gonna slant right here. Boom, slant, slant, and then they hit him with a double move. I was like, oh god. I think it was Darby that got hit with the first move.
Yeah, yeah,
But the thing that you're seeing is teams are actually testing Ronald Darby.
hmm
Supposed to be one of our top corners. Um, but the other thing that I did notice is, they're playing at the beginning. They're playing about 9 yards off, and then they start to move up. If they're going to move up, play some press. It actually worked a little bit.
yeah,
When they came up and played press, and then some of the guys weren't using their hands. So if you have your cornerbacks moving up and you're not putting your hands on the receiver, there's no reason for you to play press. But hats off to Sterling Shepard as well. He's a guy that I wanted the Eagles to draft, a solid slot corner who can play outside. Very shifty, makes a lot of great plays. But then, as a whole, you're looking at this Giants offense like they're in the bottom 20s. I think they're 29th maybe. The team
yeah,
zero run game, and it was shocking to see what they did on this defense.
yeah. But like you said, I think that this defense is better when the corners are pressed up and when Schwartz is blitzing a lot. Because they were up 20-7, and then you go on to outscore them 27-9 after that point. So I think, which it's understandable when you lose a quarterback, just adjusting to that. but I think that they responded very well.
Yeah, I mean, moving forward to the offense side of the ball, starting with Nick Foles. 4 touchdowns. I mean, he just continued to take another step where Carson Wentz left off. Um, Carson Wentz and Nick Foles are the first Eagles quarterbacks to pass for 4 touchdowns plus in back-to-back games. So that's pretty cool. The guys who contributed heavily, whether it be Zach Ertz, Nelson Aguilar, and Alshon Jeffrey, all scored touchdowns. So that's taking a page right out of Carson Wentz's book. Now, how did you feel about Nick Foles' performance?
He played great, and I expected them to run the ball more and become more of a run-first offense. But 38 passes and 27 runs against the Giants. And on season, the average is 34 passes, 31 runs for the Eagles. So, which the Giants did commit to stopping the running. It seemed like they wanted Nick Foles to beat them through the air, and he did. And I know me and you were talking on Saturday, and all the Eagles really need Nick Foles to do is be serviceable, and he was more than that. I mean, 4 touchdowns. He had a good completion percentage. Didn't really throw any ill-advised passes. I mean, he was more than serviceable.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us were talking about, oh, this could be the Ajayi game. He did have the most snaps out of all the running backs. I think he had 2 catches, caught a nice little screen, got some yak. But yeah, I mean, Foles, a lot of people forget, he played with Jeff Fisher, and in his time with Jeff Fisher, I believe he had like 7 touchdowns to like 10 picks.
Yeah.
When Nick Foles is not playing for Jeff Fisher, he's got 53 touchdowns to 17 interceptions.
17-9.
Yeah,
as a starter too, without Jeff Fisher.
And as a starter with the Eagles, since 2013, 15-4. Talk about the highest passer rating in Eagles history. It's Nick Foles at 94.1. So Nick Foles he's done some good things. Carson Wentz has been phenomenal, but Nick Foles is a sound veteran, and that's one thing. I mean, where did you stand when Carson Wentz went down? Were you thinking like it's a wrap, season's a wrap, or did you think Nick Foles could hang in there for win a couple games?
No, I figured he could win in there just because I just compared it to Case Keenum's success with the Vikings this year, and it didn't. I mean, it started out rough because when Case Keenum first took over after Sam Bradford went down, the first 4 games he was 2-2. But I mean, both of these guys have been in the league for 6 years, and their stats. Nick Foles is a little bit better in almost every category, and just the weapons that Case Keenum has around him, Stephon Diggs, Kyle Rudolph, Latavius Murray, Adam Thielen.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at those weapons, and Nick Foles has more.
Right.
Because, I mean, Nick Foles has Jeffrey, Aguilar, and Ertz, which is close to Thielen, Diggs, and Rudolph. But then he has Ajayi, Blunt, Clement.
Right. They got four running backs deep that can actually give you something. And then our defense. Is it the defense? We're back to defense. The last 3 games, I think they're averaging. They're averaging like 20, giving up like 29 points a game in the last 3 games, and that's one thing that you're like, is this just a hiccup? A lot of people want to talk about getting hot at the right time, and I feel like, this defense, it's the wrong time for them to bottom out. I feel like they've been a big factor to a lot of things that we've done over the last couple of weeks. Over the course of the season. But the biggest player to you that you feel like that needs to step on the defense would be?
I do think that Tim Jernigan and Fletcher Cox need to step up a little bit. Like you said before, that they haven't had a sack since the Cowboys game.
Mhm.
Um, but I also think that Ronald Darby needs to step up after this performance. I mean, besides the interception, I mean he was getting torched, and I don't know if you saw Patrick Robinson on the sidelines. Uh, I forget what happened.
I think it was a head injury, right?
No, no, it was like he was complaining, like kind of throwing a tantrum on the sideline.
Oh, I didn't see.
Yeah, yeah, it was. I think it might have been after that the double move
Oh,
that that was put on Darby. But I think that whole unit as a whole needs to step up. But
you
I
think
mean,
about Darby missed a big portion of the season. I'm wondering if
yeah.
he's starting to hit that fatigue where he's not
Well, you think that, but I mean, when he came back, I mean, he
right.
shut Dez down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of, but at the same time, they've been playing bad, but they've stepped up. I mean, when Carson Wentz got injured, the Rams scored, and it was 35-31, and then they couldn't do anything after that. And then the Giants were driving down to take the lead, and their drive stalled out. I mean, they make plays, but it is concerning. Just you just ask yourself, what has happened because
Yeah.
over these last three games.
The most important thing for me playing against the Giants was a getting Nick Foles acclimated with the offense again, uh, getting used to his weapons. If it's going to be a hiccup game, but obviously they didn't have hiccups. It was just the defense, but it's hard to gauge how good our offense was against a poor, banged up um,
Yeah,
Giants secondary. Then again, when you play rivals, it's a different thing. They know you very well.
yeah, yeah. That's the thing. I mean, it was a rival, and since McAdoo's been fired, I
Mhm.
always feel like mid-season firings,
Yeah.
they revamp a team. So that can be dangerous
Now
as well.
moving forward to the upcoming Raiders. This will be on Christmas Day. I will be attending. I was on the fence about this one. It's tough to get around, schedule around on Christmas to get to go down there. But we do have a tailgate. Fourth and Jawn will be throwing a tailgate. But any concerns about the Oakland Raiders coming off a tough loss to the Dallas Cowboys?
I mean, I think it is concerning. They're a very good team. They got a very good quarterback. When they rush for over 100 yards, I believe they're 2-7. Or when they don't rush for over 100 yards. When they do rush for over 100 yards, they're 5-0.
Okay.
So I do think that this will be a big test for the run defense to get back on track because just that stat just shows. I mean, you got to shut down the run game. Um, but but as far as comparing them to the Giants, I mean, I think that they have a better offense, similar defenses. It'll be a test, but the Eagles have to win this one because you know
Yep.
you want to be able to rest starters
Yeah.
um, when the Cowboys come to town
Yeah. I mean, this
the
this
31st.
this is the game. I mean, yesterday was the game to get that bye, but this week is the game to solidify the playoffs going through Philadelphia. I mean, that's huge. Eagles had a great record under Doug Peterson at home. I feel like you said, getting those guys some rest if they need some. It's kind of funny. I wouldn't mind even seeing them play the first half versus the Cowboys when they come in town, just for more work for Nick Foles. But they probably, I don't, I'm not sure if they will. Maybe the first quarter or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just feel like the Raiders. We have the number one rush defense still in the league, giving up like 71 yards a game, averaging 71.5 yards a game. I think if you make them one dimensional, Amari Cooper was banged up, missed the game against the Cowboys. They lost their left tackle and Donald Penn, who's been a sound protector of Derek Carr's blind side. So that means could be another sack for Barnett and Curry should get involved. So I'm hoping that the at home, this Eagles team has been a different beast. But you think about it, this team has been on the road. Think about how long
Yeah,
the Seahawks, Rams. Now they went through adversity. They lost their quarterback
yeah,
playing at they playing New York. Now they're finally home. This is where they are
yeah,
most. So I'm hoping for a great Christmas present for everyone.
yeah, and they really do need that home field advantage because I mean, just like you said, this whole year, I know they've had Carson Wentz, but they have been a different beast at home. I mean, I'm not sure the numbers, but they definitely just look like a Super Bowl caliber team when they're in Philly. And I think, does Peterson have 2 losses at home, and that's it?
He's got like 2 losses. So he's
Yeah,
get the record. I think it was either 15-4 or 15-2, something like that.
yeah,
Something like that. But it's been great. But then also I want to give a shout out to all the Eagle fans out there, whether it be in Seattle, whether it be in Los Angeles. I was there for the Los Angeles. I was there for the Giants game. I've seen the effect of Eagle fans in them changing the elements for the players, whether it be in the Giant Stadium when it's like about 50-50 or maybe 60 to 40 kind of in there, and the Eagle fans are yelling defense and you're hearing they're causing false starts, whether it be in LA, just 70-30% Eagle fans.
yeah,
It's like to see it, like I kind of, when people were talking about the Chargers takeover game, I was like, that's cool, man. But when you're actually there and you see the people in their own home stadium, like they're like looking at you like you guys are crazy. Like where are you guys coming from?
yeah,
So hats off to the Eagle fans, man. They've been a tremendous asset the whole season.
yeah. They definitely got behind this team, and that's another reason that just made me like you can't give up when somebody goes down. And I know, like E-Rock said, you can't next man up Carson Wentz, but everybody can step up. And I think that the Giants game was a rough one to watch, but it was good because all they need to do is win. They don't. It doesn't have to be pretty at this point
Right.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's the final stretch. You just got to win.
Going back to Giants, the first part of the season. Go back to the first part of the season. You think about what kind of propelled these wins. It was that Giants, you know, Jake Elliott kick to force that momentum. It was that drive that got this team going. So I feel and hope that this last Giant game that just happened will be the next game to like push them forward. It's a tight win. They won on the road, 2-1 the last 3 games on the road games. Now they're home. Now they're back to focus, and let's hopefully they build momentum into the playoffs. But I think that's all from me. Anything more from you, Braxton?
No, that's it, man.
All right, guys. You can check us out on fourthandjawn.com. A lot of great content on there by our writers. The Fourth and Jawn podcast with a bunch of the guys from Fourth and Jawn, the Mighty Rock, I Believe Philly, and Evan Bubblegum Ear, and also Trox as well. So for me, Gayle Saunders, and Braxton Howard, that's all for us for now. If you want to follow Braxton on Twitter, he's at Brackshot. It's BRAQSHOT. I'm at Eagle Sessions, and that's all for us. Go Birds.